Have you ever met somebody who took their dating relationship too seriously? Like they've been together for 5 days, and you would think that they had been with each other since infancy. They've known each other for 2 weeks, but you would think that this person was like your dude's idol. And it's wild. It's unhealthy. It's kind of creepy. They're head over heels, and it's not in a good way. Well, that's because they're taking their dating relationship too seriously. It doesn't set you up well, not for a relationship and not for a breakup for sure. So what we want to talk about today is how to not take your romantic relationship too seriously. Hey guys, I am Reese Maxwell from Thriving Man Life Coaching, and today we're talking about not taking your relationship too seriously. Now, what do I mean by that? It's as simple as this. Dating is kind of a win-win situation. The whole purpose of dating is to see if this is the kind of person you want to marry. So if the answer is yes, awesome, you found out. If the answer is no, awesome, you found out. The purpose of dating is not that, once I go on my first date, I have to get married. That's not what I mean when I say the purpose of dating is to get married. It's to see if this is the right person to marry. So whether the answer is yes or no, your dating has been successful because you found out. Last week, I discussed the 4 phases of relationship that puts dating in the proper context. So if you want to see the fullness of that, go ahead and check out that video. But I used an illustration that I think plays pretty well into this video as well. Think of a spaceship. You're going to space, a place you've never been, totally new territory. That's kind of like what marriage is like. But you want to make sure that you are in the right ship and everything is aligned well before you do the liftoff. If you do a final check and you're like, ooh, there's an entire engine missing, or oh my gosh, we didn't pack food. You want to press the pause button and evaluate a little more deeply. I would rather wait and go in a good ship that fits well than to just jump the gun and go because I'm excited about going to space, right? Marriage is the same way. You don't want to just throw yourself at anybody to be able to be in a marriage relationship. That's asking for failure. What you want to do is go through the process of really seeing if they're the right person. And if the answer is no, sweet, you know now. You do your final check and it turns out that this isn't the spaceship you want to go on. Cool. The check works then. So what we don't need to do is from the moment we start dating, assume that, hey, if the answer is no, I failed. Oh, I failed. That's not true. It's just not. So let's hit a couple paradigms to help you take this in stride. 1, dating is meant to be a process. Dating is supposed to take time. You should not date for 3 weeks because somebody can lie for 3 weeks. They can't lie for a bunch of months though. So as you go through the process of dating, it's meant to take time. It's a good thing. So take your time when you date. You won't be taking it too seriously. When people are moving too seriously, they're trying to rush it. They're like, okay, we've been on 3 dates, marriage, I'm proposing. No, you've got to take your time and really do the groundwork for this dating to be successful. So if you're rushing, it's a little too serious, chill out a little bit. If you find red flags in this girl, that's when you can peel out. That's what dating is for. That's the point. Now, I do want to be careful in saying this. You also are going to discover the difference between deal breakers and personal preferences. This girl doesn't have to be on the same page with you on every little thing. That would just be a clone of you. That's kind of weird. You don't want to marry a clone of you, but it needs to be on the same page with the right things. So keep that in mind as you're going through the process. It will take time, and that's okay. But you're discovering more about this girl and about yourself and your own preferences as you take the process one step at a time. Step number 2 is avoid overthinking. There is absolutely such a thing as thinking too much in a relationship. For example, like I said just a second ago, you're not looking for the person to be absolutely perfect. All you're really looking for is that you're on the same page with your core values and perspectives, and this girl's willing to grow and you're willing to grow. If those factors are in line, you're probably going to have a good relationship. It takes time to discover if that's actually the case, but you don't want to spend so much time in your own mind that you're not even looking at reality. Okay, we don't want to set unhealthy expectations on her. We don't want to set unhealthy expectations on ourselves. We don't want to try and move this thing and blow it out of proportion. That happens when you think too much. I mentioned this in the last video, but I'm going to say it one more time because it bears repeating. This is about mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. In the dating phase, you're not messing with the physical side of things. You're not having sex yet. I'll just put it like that, because it will warp the way that you view this girl. You will already build this. What you're doing is you're taking something for marriage and you're dragging it into your dating relationship. And so it'll warp your perspective of what the relationship is, what a breakup would be, what the person is like, what you're like, what your connection's like. Sex can throw all of that off balance, which is why you want to save it for marriage. It's not to ruin fun. It's to say, hey, it's not the time for that right now. That's in the future once we have fully committed to one another. There's a reason God wired it that way. It's for our best. The third thing that you really want to do, it sounds simple, but it's true. Relax. Everything's not the end of the world. This relationship is not the end of the world. If you date this girl and it turns out it doesn't work out, that is okay. There are other girls out there. There's other fish in the sea, as the saying goes. And what you want to do is if you do relax and it turns out that the relationship doesn't work out, then that's the phase of mind where you can learn from it. Maybe you say, man, that girl was absolutely lying to me. Maybe it was her fault. Or maybe, I keep picking girls that are liars. That's on me, You get to learn from it and grow and mature. Part of the purpose of dating is to find the right person. But that means you got to become more self-aware. You got to become aware of yourself. And I'll mention that in a future video. But if you relax, then every phase of this, whether you're discovering more about the person or recovering after a breakup, becomes more bearable. It becomes more easily navigated. So there it is. The practicals of how to not take your relationship too seriously. Hopefully that helped you. And if you know a guy you think this could help, send this video their way. Man, that's why we do what we do here at Thriving Man Life Coaching. We do things to help make you succeed in the areas that matter. If you would like more resources, you can go to thrivingman.com, and I'll see you in the next video.